Greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen, friends, and occasional foe or two. But here we are once again trying to do a very bold experiment, and particularly for young men especially, who are aspiring, who want to be real, who want to be men of might. And they'd like maybe to have a woman of wonder alongside of them. They want to make a difference in the world. They want to do work that matters. That's right. Do work that matters, and do it well, and to raise a family, to send them out into the world so they can achieve good and great things, and that their legacy is not primarily in the money they make. Their legacy is in the people they help empower and create opportunity for. In effect, as I point out, Jesus was one of the world's first entrepreneurs. There were many, but he was one of them. At the age of 12, perhaps, he was in a point where he probably very shortly had to take over the family business and run it and make it happen. And as we oftentimes point out, his ministry may be 3, 4, 5 years. There's no specificity that we know for sure, but about 3 years. Well, great. But he probably was an entrepreneur for 16, 17, 18 years. And that's where he learned a great deal, grew in knowledge and in spirit, in wisdom, and in favor with God and man. Prepared to go into the world and build a movement that became an organization, which then created opportunities to hear and share and bring to life God's special wisdom for us all. And then, of course, to tell his story, to tell the Jesus story. And that's what we're about, helping young men and women particularly, and those who maybe are even in their encore years, who've discovered, as many of them have, you know, I did a career for 30, 40 years, but I've still got time to do something significant and different. As one man in his 70s said to me, Stan, would it be too late for me to, I'm good health, good spirits, good energy, feeling great. Do you think I could start my own business? I could be an entrepreneur now? I would say, no question about it. You should start it. And he now is going to do that. And he said, who would have thought that I would have this opportunity? And then he confirmed, he said, maybe I should have done this 20 years ago. Let's see what could be. And now, as we come to the week of hope and faith, and darkness comes, but darkness and death are defeated in the events of Holy Week and Easter. And then we do what we are called to do. We are called to be risen up and to make a difference and to help bring other people into the Jesus kingdom. That's what we're all about. And I hope that you will join us. As I've said before, I'm asking for founding friends just to jump in and say, Stan, I'm in. Here's $100. I'm in. Just a friend. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Someone said, well, give me some real statements of clarity about your mission and your vision and your values. I said, I've done a lot of that, but that's what's going to emerge as the Spirit comes into this experiment and helps us understand Jesus better as we try and imitate and encore him and then become more like him. We will see. And I guarantee you that God is, and a number of people laugh at this, but there was a character in the early TV shows whose favorite line was, surprise, surprise, surprise. And I said, God is basically in the surprise business. And he will probably surprise us with what he has in store for us and what he is going to, in effect, bring to us. Someone said the fact that we're told that Jesus will, our emergence with him in heaven, that our tears will be dried up. So why would there be any tears in heaven? And then he said, I thought about that. And could it be, just could it be, that when we have our heavenly place in space, that we will discover that there were all kinds of things that we could have done. That in many ways we lived an unlived life. That there were opportunities and risks that we should have taken, but we didn't. And we said, oh, there might be a tear or two. And you say, it's okay. By the way, you're not judged on how well you achieved your goals. You're here because I achieved my goal. And that was to offer you a way to know yourself, know God, follow his ways, and experience fully aliveness now and forever. Now, that's kind of where I'd like to go, but today I'm going to put a little program with a little bit of an edge on it that is related to what I just said. And that's why the title perhaps caught you. I used one of those words you might not like to hear. Oftentimes I say, I wonder if Jesus sang songs. I think he must have. Did he ever speak harshly or roughly or tough? Well, brood of vipers, whitewashed tombs. It seems he might have been sometimes quite a name caller. Obviously, he aggravated a number of people. We oftentimes will ask the question, are you a Jesus gentleman? What do you think that means? I'm asking more and more men I meet, are you a Jesus gentleman, a Christian gentleman? And we're now having some interesting discussions as to what that would mean or what it would be like. But here it goes. I have a daughter, a New York City daughter, who's really an editor, a character, a bright and brilliant woman. And as my wife and I say, we raised our girls to be strong, independent women, and we certainly succeeded. That's what they are. She, all her life, had been wanting to be a writer, and as soon as she finished the University of Minnesota, she came to me and said, Dad, I'm going to New York. I said, New York? She said, I want to be a writer. I want to be in the publication business, and that's where it happens, New York City. And if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. And so off she went and started a career and became a very successful writer and working in a publishing company and has her own business and now working for a major corporation as one of their chief writers and editors. But I wrote a book a number of years ago called You Make the Difference. And it's a guide to how you will market yourself in the business market. You make the difference. It was called Personal Performance Marketing. It's a marketing book. It has a bit of a spiritual twist to it, but it's not a Christian business book. It's a marketing book. And I had good success with it. And then someone said, well, maybe you should write a second book. And then I wonder, well, what would be, marketing too? Well, I approached my daughter about that. I said, well, because she had helped me, she had been a kind of a vicious editor. She'd say, Dad, take this chapter out. By the way, I've crossed out these 5 pages. Do it this way. And of course, she made it into a much better book, which is what editors do. But it seems kind of painful sometimes when you see someone says, well, this was not very good, or this could be better if you would do this. And I was a pretty good, Dad took instructions from her. And so I said to her, I said, do you think I should write another book? And she paused and she said, Dad, let me tell you something. Okay. She said, Dad, yes, you could write another book on marketing. And it would probably be better than most. Yeah, Dad, you could do that. Yeah, Dad, what the world needs is another damn book on marketing. Dad, don't do that. Write the book that only you can write. Wow. See, that's the word. But I've come to what I call the AED. Let's not do, another blank. What would be the book that you could write? What could be the business that only you could build? I work with a number of entrepreneurs, and oftentimes I find they're trying to imitate somebody else. And I actually heard an entrepreneurial speaker say, you don't have to be creative. You don't have to do anything new. Just try and find what somebody else is doing and try and copy it and maybe do it better. We may not need another. There are a lot of businesses that we don't need another. But we might need the business that only you can build, that only you can do. You, with your unique gifts, your talent, your experience, your Christian faith, your beliefs, you could create the business that only you could create. And that's when neat things happened. But I've also found in my coaching career that sometimes all they wanted to do was write another blank blank. Another blank company like everybody else had one. They just wanted it to be theirs. Another blank blank. That's my message. And that has struck me ever since then. Yeah, just what the world needs. Another same thing company or book or whatever. Do what only you can do. Do what God has only called you to do. Do that. And do it well. And make Jesus smile. Jesus is in the business of creating. And he would like to create new things. New people. New experiences. New adventures. I think that some of us are going to say, oh my goodness, look what I could have done. Yeah. I don't want to die with regrets about what I could have done. And right now I am really on a number of people who I'm saying is, you're in the fourth quarter of life. It's time to put that legacy, that only thing only you can do, in place, in space, and make that a part of your life and legacy. We don't need another blank blank. Do what only you can do. Where your deep gladness meets some deep need. What does the world need? What does the world need? Well, as someone said, is find out what the world needs that you love to do, and then do it. And then do it. That could be how we could help you transform your life. Transform it completely. As this one man is saying, Stan, I think this is going to change me more now than of anything I've ever done. This could truly be. Maybe, maybe it's what I was made for in the first place. Not that my career with blank was wrong or my job doing this was wrong, but maybe because I worked hard and did it well, it went well. Maybe I was created to do something very new and different. Could it be? What does the world need? Well, there's a good chance it doesn't need another blank blank. So perhaps we can help you do it different. Do what matters. Do what makes a difference. Do what makes the master entrepreneur smile. I'm Stan Houston. Thank you for your time. These are challenging times. We are at war in the world, and what's going to happen? Truly, we're hoping that during this time of, again, our annual celebration of the story of Jesus doing the work that only he could do and doing it well. And because of that, the world, the universe changed. Best and blessings to you, for you and your family, and for your business. And may your business be something that maybe only you can really do, and you can do it well. Till next time, I'm Stan Houston for the Jesus Entrepreneur. Reach out to me at stan@witradio.net, stan@witradio.net. Go to our website, Webstage. It's a YouTube channel, and how to be a world-class Jesus entrepreneur, the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. I hope to hear from you. I'd be grateful if you could help be a founding friend, and I'd be grateful if we could work together to maybe do something that only we can do together. Bye for now.